Hello, all, and welcome to my channel. I am your spiritual narc slayer, 77. And if you all are not aware, in the spiritual world, the number 77 or the number 7 is the number of attainment and understanding. So I am going to be giving y'all the knowledge and some tools to kind of come to a clear understanding of some of those spiritual battles that you could be facing that you may not be aware of, that may not stand clear to you. You also may be having some distractions and some destruction going on and may not be aware of what's really going on. So that is why I am here. Now, if you all would like to get in contact with me, I am at spiritualnorkslayer77 at gmail.com. And if you have any questions, do reach out to me. Also, any specific topics that you guys will want to hear, let me know. I'm here for it. And again, thank you all for joining my channel. Now, I'm going to go ahead and dive right into it. We are going to be discussing narcissists, aka narcs, aka energy vampires, whatever you want to call them, children of the corn, Satan's children. Hey, I'm all for it because these people are like Satan's children on earth roaming, literally, in my opinion. Now, we're going to go ahead and also speak of how they are created, where it could come from, also some ways to kind of be aware of if you are in contact with a particular narcissist or a person that may have these narcissistic qualities, which may be on the more severe end of the spectrum, which that's what we're going to be discussing. Now, I want to let you know that every single one of us have some form of narcissism in us, and this can range from very mild to the most severe, but many of us have mild symptoms of this, which is just, when you wake up in the morning and you feel like you the shit, or you handsome, or you looking good that day. That's where that ego come from, that ego side of you. So it may not be big-headed, but you're also humble at the same time. You just look good, and it is absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. So we're going to go ahead and dive right on into it. And with narcissists, that seems to be the streaming topic of today's mainstream. And I feel like a lot of people really don't know too much about it, or they may know about it but not really know that they could be battling or dealing with someone of this specific energy. So I'm here to kind of give you details on it, things that you need to be on the lookout for, just ways to kind of know where it comes from, and so on and so forth. But it's so much to discuss, but we're going to go ahead and dissect this bit by bit. So, with narcs, they can be created from being overloved or underloved. And when I say that, I say that in means of you have a child that could get so much love, and it doesn't matter what they do wrong, continuously they're overpraised. They could be that child where everything they do is above or thou, and their parents don't really see anything wrong in them. So with that child, the dynamic comes from I am superior, I can do this, I can do that, can nobody tell me shit, you know what I'm saying? So they'll have that dynamic that they pretty much can roam the earth and can have that untouchable dynamic, I guess you can say, to them. You also have the underloved ones that can also be created from that can be created into narcissists. They also can be created into codependency, because those ones experience a lot of trauma, pain, inflictions, etc. So you may have those ones where they may have neglect in their background, they may have abandonment in their background, they may have pain, they may have abuse. It can come in many different forms, from like emotional, mental, psychological, sexual, mental, so on and so forth. So from this underlove, from them being a child and not really receiving the appropriate, I guess you can say, loving that they need to receive from their parent, they now grow up seeking love and attention from other avenues. And those are normally those people that you can find with mild spectrums. They can be codependent, and where they can just want and need someone else to fill them up, and it will be in a way of them doing whatever it takes to keep them, to stay with them. They normally are those clingy type people that will be willing to kind of do whatever it takes to kind of keep people around, because they have to have somebody, and they are willing to go through whatever it takes to keep that particular somebody, because that is the codependency in them wanting and needing that love. So they are reaching out for it in different avenues outside of themselves. Now, with the more severe spectrum that narcissists are created, and from that spectrum of being underloved, they're taking all of the inflictions, the pain, the hurt, the abuse, everything that they were inflicted upon, and they're taking that pain and they're inflicting it upon others, depending on what type of abuse they're dishing out at you, or whatever they're trying to get concocted, or whatever agenda they may have. They do have tactics and tricks and things up their damn sleeve. So you might not even be knowing that you're dealing with this type of energy, but you might be noticing like little signs, or your energy might be feeling a little off when you get around their asses. Baby, you don't fret. You need to pay attention to what you're feeling and know that you're not feeling that way for no type of reason other than you need to pay attention to it and figure out what is it outside of me and why am I feeling this way around this person. So always pay attention to how you feel. So with the spectrum that I was speaking of, where the narcissists are created, those particular individuals do go around kind of feasting off other people, their energy. Sometimes it can range from them just feeling like they are in power. They always want to be the controlling one. They always feel like they're right. It's really nothing you can say to them. And I would say on severe ends of the spectrum, minus abuse, or depending on what type of abuse you're speaking of. But I would say some examples I would give of some narcs that I feel have some high-end spectrum traits in them is like Donald Trump, Ike Turner. If you guys listen to rap music or anything like that, they have an NBA young boy out there, and he also seems to be a person of that nature that have a lot of narcissistic qualities as well. And once you go down the line, you'll kind of figure out what it is and kind of figure out how they kind of feast off different things to kind of fill a lot of voids that they didn't get in whatever past life or growing up or whatever it was that they're seeking in other people. Now, narcissists can range from being more overt, where they're the ones that kind of will be more verbal with how they speak, and, you know, being more, I guess you could say more so the type that doesn't think that anybody is above them. They're like above everybody. They are the shit. It's nothing you can tell them. And they're more so in a way of putting it that nothing can top them. And it's okay to feel that way, but it's also knowing that it's other people out here in this world too. And you can't just kind of put you on the spectrum of I'm better than everybody else. So you have to know that everybody is a spiritual being. We all are here doing a journey, and nobody else's spirit is more greater than the next. We're all out here trying to make it and do what we need to do to accomplish our mission, our destiny, our dreams, whatever it may be, so be it. But you do have these narcs that do roam the earth. And I feel like a lot of the times these are assignments that they have placed on people's lives. And a lot of the times you'll notice that when you're trying to excel or you're trying to do something in life, these narcissists or these people will just hoover just out the blue randomly, and they'll just come out of nowhere, and then you'll find yourself into this particular cycle again. So you have to pay attention to what's going on around you, and that's outside of those five senses. And that's with the third eye, that sixth sense that just lets you know with your intuition, just knowing with every sense of knowing, like, okay, something is not right, something is off. If you are dealing with them, they just know that they have so many different tactics. So you can't be going through a whirlwind of like different emotions and just confusion, because that's what they do tend to do. They are the biggest advocates of confusion. That just is what comes along with them. And with them also being drama filled, you also have to know that it's always going to be some tricks up their sleeves. They have a lot of big tactics as far as like gaslighting, where they want you to question yourself on things that might be going on around you. I would say that's like one of their biggest tactics that they use, and I would do a different video for that, going more into that detail. But with that, they're trying to like kind of doubt your own perception of yourself. So you might have an item that you have sitting on a particular session of like a desk or something, and they might move it and you come back to it and you see that it's gone, but you say, okay, where's that item that was here? And they may say it was never no item there. So you're like, no, I know it was an item here. I just saw it. Like, you ain't tripping, but they didn't conjured up some way to make you doubt that you didn't really see what you saw, because they of course have whatever agenda they have. So now you're doubting yourself and you're questioning yourself, like, did I really see it? But I know I did see it. So now that's what gaslighting is meant to do. It's meant to kind of give you a foggy mind, or a kind of a foggy perception of what you really know to be true, but it's to kind of be there to distort your reality or what you really are seeing. So those are normally one of the biggest tactics that they use. They also can be very superficial. A lot of them love to be the materialistic type people, where they'll be more into getting more things that fill the material possessions, because they want to always look at, they want to always feel like they have one up on people. So that comes along with their demeanor. So they might be those people that are kind of flashy, they always buying things, whatever voice they need to feel, they just go and shop it out. They just feel it with a lot of external factors outside of them. So the outside of them may always look good, but just always know it's a broken person walking that look good. So you don't know, or you might know what comes along with the features of being a broken person, regardless of how it looks. It may look good, but everything that glitter ain't gold. That's what I always have learned in this journey of mine as well. They also may be nasty nice, where they'll, might say, oh, that's cute, but I probably wouldn't wear that because of such and such, such and such. So, they give that perception like, did they just compliment me or did they just insult me type shit? So they always have something up their sleeve to kind of make you kind of second doubt or second question what the hell is they doing, type shit. Also know that they feed off people's energies. So a lot of the times you might get a narcissist that may come around you and all they talk about is literally just themselves, or they always have something going on. It's always a problem. They always are using a lot of sob stories as manipulation tactics just to kind of get what they may want from you. So always keep that in mind, that they always are trying to feed off some sort of energy, whether that is positive or negative. But know that if they can razzle your feathers and get you hyped up and angry and mad, they love it. Absolutely love it, because in the process of doing that, they are sucking away all of your energy, because you're getting mad, you're razzled up, and they're just sitting there calm and collected, because now they have figured out how to trigger you, and opposed to reacting, responding. You are reacting to them opposed to responding to them, and now they got one up on you. So you have to be careful with that tactic as well. That tends to be one of those tactics that they may use on a daily basis as well. Another thing you may notice with them is that they always think that they're right. So you might always be in a debate with this person because they never can give you the acknowledgement, or just knowing that you could also be right as well, or even knowing that they could be wrong all in all, and they don't want to accept that. So it's always going to be a battle with them. It's never going to be nothing that's like a peaceful type debate, because they always will give you the lower hand of the stick. And just know that that's just what comes along with their territories. Let's see. It's a lot of different little features to them, but those are more of those more deceptive type, cunning features of them. Outside of everything, the overt narcissists are the ones that you can kind of tell based off their language, and how they look and how they present themselves, how they carry themselves, that they could be more in vain or more stuck up. And then you have the covert ones, which do those manipulative tactics to kind of get by up under your nose, and you might not even pay attention or even see that this going on, but they are so skilled at what they do that you probably won't even notice it unless you are aware of what type of person or energy that you are dealing with. Another thing I have to say is, just beware of the energies that you come in contact with, and just know that you always want to have a spirit of discernment, because with developing a spirit of discernment, you're able to be aware of when these types of energies could be around you, or if they are putting you in some sort of situation. You can kind of see it from a different point of view or a different perspective. Just paying attention to what you're dealing with and knowing what you're dealing with, so you can kind of be aware of what comes along with that energy. So, people just gotta be aware of their time, their space, the people that they allow around them, the things that they allow themselves to indulge in, and know that every piece of energy you put out, you do get back in. So if you are that codependent that is seeking that love, 9 times out of 10, you will come across a lot, a lot of narcissists, because they are praying and looking for that type of energy so they can feast off of it, so they can use it up. And 9 times out of 10, you will be used. Their main tactics are love, bomb, devalue, and discard. So you're just sucking up everything that's going on, not knowing that it's a plan, it's a plot, it's an agenda, and it's always going to be something that's going to keep you on that turntable where you're study going in circles. Is always going to be something. So if you are that codependent, just know that you will have to develop skills and boundaries and tactics to kind of help you. They also love empaths, because empaths give the most love, the most light, and they could really feed a lot off of them because of the patience and high traits of being able to tolerate a lot because of the compassion in them. So just know that they love feasting off certain energies. They kind of watch, they kind of know what to go for when they try to stick their veins in you, depending on if it's a romantic type of situation. You also have friends that could be of this quality. You also have people in the work field that could be of this quality. So it's not just a personal relationship. These are things that are people that could be of different spectrums of relationships. So just be aware that it's not just a one situation type thing. It could be in multiple situations, multiple relationships. But you also, again, have to pay attention to you and how you are, and what energies you put out there, to also know what energies you're kind of getting back and what you're manifesting and things like that, which we'll get into different videos with that to help you out. So again, this video was created to kind of tell you about narcs, how they're created, where they kind of come from, the qualities of some narcs, what to be on the lookout for, and some things that they may be doing on a day-to-day basis, tricks and tactics. And we'll also be coming out with ways that you can kind of protect your energy, or things that you could kind of do to kind of be aware of what's going on around you, etc. But I just feel like this is a big topic that a lot of people don't discuss, because they may not be aware that it is even around them, and it just flies under the radar. And these people get away with a lot of things because people don't really understand what they're dealing with. But it's so many different types of energies that are out there, and the more you gain knowledge and understanding and attainment of what it is, then you could more better prepare yourself with the spiritual tools that you need to stay grounded, and to just be mindful, and to just be aware of what's going on, so you can kind of know how to face that spiritual battle, because it's something that you will not be able to do just using your 5 senses. It's something that you will have to dig deep in, and you have to have that intuition, that spirit of discernment, and just knowing, the good of knowing, or the sense of knowing, that if it doesn't seem right, if it doesn't feel right, then 9 times out of 10, it is not right. So don't ever be afraid to question things and look into what's going on, so that way you can know better how to equip and prepare yourself. And again, thank you all for joining me. This is your spiritual narc slayer 77. And if you would like to contact me again for like any topics or anything that you would like to listen to, as far as tips, tricks, etc., reach out to me at spiritualnarcslayer77 at gmail.com. And again, we are trying to build this community of awareness, because narcissistic abuse, it is definitely on the prowl, and a lot of people don't even know that it is around them. So if you kind of know what's going on, you can kind of know how to better equip and prepare yourself. And I feel like a lot of things can be avoided with these situations that are going on, because a lot of people will know what to do and how to do it. So again, this is your girl, Spiritual Narc Slayer 77. Thank you all for joining me, and I hope you all have a great evening.